Comment. We ask that all speakers be aware of the following guidelines. As stated, this is a public hearing on the fiscal year 2020 millage rate. Comments offered by the public should be restricted to that topic. This is a legal meeting. It is required by Georgia state statutes as a part of the budget adoption process. This hearing is being video and audio taped for archival purposes. In order to have a proper record of these proceedings, we ask all speakers to come to the podium and state their name, address, and city prior to offering your comments. Board members will not respond at this meeting to comments from speakers. Issues regarding possible action by the board may be added to a future agenda. Issues that may need to be addressed by the school system administration will be duly noted. Abusive language and our personal attacks on board members, school system employees, or other citizens will not be permitted. Only the speakers who sign up will be allowed to speak. Time may not be yielded from one speaker to another. Mr. Charles White will be the timekeeper, and each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes. The first name that I see on the list is Ms. Katherine Monroe.
Hello, good evening to everyone.
Do me a favor, Ms. Monroe. Speak directly into that microphone
Okay.
so we can hear you.
Again, good evening and pleasant evening to everyone. My name is Katherine Monroe and I reside at 554 Fields Green Drive, Jonesboro, Georgia. And I'm speaking on behalf of the rate increase of 3.66%. And I am opposing it for the mere fact that every year since I purchased this home, every year the property taxes has increased. I have no children. I get no home exempt, right? Don't know why. I've owned properties in New York, in Florida, and I've never had where my property taxes is increased every year to the point where my mortgage is increased and my insurance increased. So everything is just a domino effect. And the first year when I asked my loan officer, because I was like rather shocked, he was with Wells Fargo, I said, I thought I had a fixed rate. He politely told me that, yeah, you had a fixed rate but not a fixed mortgage. And that was a shock to me because I'm thinking everything, because I've never had to pay more than my closing statement, you know, because it was a fixed rate. I never had to before, so it was a shock. And for now to keep having this every year, now since I bought in Georgia, I'm like, okay, so will I ever be able to be at a standstill where I can see some equity if I choose to sell or repurchase? You know, what is my gain? What is my purpose for even owning a home? It's not leaving a good taste in my mouth for me because it keeps going up. So I'm like, maybe I need to just get rid of it if it's going to continue like this.
Well, let me say this. You're actually talking to the wrong board. We're not doing a 3.66 rate increase. That's the Clayton County Board of Commissioners. So that's not us. I think their meeting may be tomorrow night. I'm actually not sure, but it's the Board of Commissioners. We're the Board of Education. Our millage rate is, we're just trying to keep it as is.
Oh, on the notice that I had, it says tonight at 5:30.
No, well, that is us, but there are two boards.
Oh, okay.
And they're the one increasing the millage rate.
Okay, so I need to come back for tomorrow.
Well, I'm not sure if theirs is tomorrow. Generally, they meet on Tuesdays. So you would need to check for the Clayton County Board of Commissioners.
Okay.
I'll try to look it up for you before we leave.
Okay.
Okay, if you just wait.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, the next name I have on the list is Ms. Kimberly is it Katherine Keen? Okay.
Good evening, members of the board and guests. My name is Kimberly E. Cowan Keen. I reside at 5782 Foxfield Trail in Rex. I'm a longtime resident of Clayton County, a graduate of Monroe High School, a teacher, and a loyal and concerned citizen. I'd like to take a moment first to say thank you to all the teachers in the room, as well as the CCPS employees. I hope you had a great first day of school today. And I hope that the 2019-2020 school year will be better than you expect. With regards to the millage rate, the Board of Ed has maxed out the taxation rate to 20 mills, the maximum the state will permit. And if we continue to spend, and all in an effort to generate revenues to cover the spending. And I argue that the spending has become excessive, and we really need to look at this budget and figure out ways to strategically cut the budget so that we are not constantly relying on increasing taxation rates, the burden on our citizens, to generate the revenue to cover the spending. If we cut this and SPLOSTs, eventually we're going to get a 20% sales tax rate in Clayton County, and everybody's going to bypass us to go shop in Henry County. We've got to find ways to cut the spending. I support the current spending on capital projects. Research shows that there is a direct correlation to student achievement and quality of their school environment. There are some schools that haven't seen updates to their HVAC system since their building in 25 years ago. So I support capital projects. I do not support spending $80 million on a new high school in the north end of the county. I believe that a quality new school can be built to serve the needs of its students at a far lesser value. Equity and equitable distribution of resources is a hot button topic in education. How is it equitable to invest such a significant amount of money into a school that will serve less than 5% of the district student population? Even if a strategic plan is designed to update all school facilities to the level of the new Monroe High School, our tax base cannot afford to implement such a plan. Ultimately, we want to improve student achievement. The number one factor that impacts student achievement is the teacher in the classroom. While CCPS pays more to its teachers than several other counties and local educational authorities in the area, we still have more vacancies than most. We must ask ourselves why we cannot keep good talent. I argue it's due to a lack of quality leadership. We pay an exorbitant salary to our superintendent, and what is the return on that investment? I've seen an increase in the central office administration and his cabinet. Therefore,
Do you have it written? And if you want to give us some copies.
I'll type it in so.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm just gonna say, come on up, Miss Funny, because you know, I still don't have your name down correctly. I should know it by now.
Good evening. Atanya Jean Funny.
Miss Atanya Funny, okay. I thought I had it, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
Unincorporated Clayton, Hampton, Georgia. So I've asked the board several times, you know, how can we protect our school system from being financially mismanaged by 1 to 2 people? And I was fortunate enough this summer to attend a leadership institute that looked at different school systems over the state of Georgia. And I didn't realize that different school systems run their operations different ways. So you actually have school boards that create the budget. They work directly with the CFO and business services. They make out the budget, and then when the superintendent wants something additional, the superintendent must come to the board before the money is spent, and that's how it operates. And I think in that way, you have more people watching over the budget, so we don't have a deficit of $40 million and we're just told we don't know how it happened.
Ms. Fondy,
so-
let me stop you for just a minute.
Does my time stop?
No, I'll let it start back up, but what I need you to do is to tie, are you gonna tie that in? So, Mr. White, wherever you are, okay, let's start it over. Can you tie what you're saying, tie it into the millage?
Yes.
Right, okay, all right, go ahead.
Okay, so that was my next point.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So it's my understanding that the state says that you can receive 19.294 mill rate and still collect the same amount of money you collected last year with the rate of 20 mil because of the increase in property taxes. So my question is, why do we need 20 mil? So I've been told that, you know, we have more expenses, okay? So one of the things that I want to talk about is our organizational chart, okay? So this is online. So there are 80 people I counted. There's one vacancy, business services. There's 80 people on here. I've gone to Open Georgia. Almost everybody on this list is making $90,000 or more. They're making more than a teacher with 20 plus years of experience. I don't understand why we need 6 people for special education coordinator, but we are lacking 56 special ed teachers. We have 9 academic coordinators. For 54,000 students, we have an academic coordinator making over $80,000 for health and PE, 9 academic coordinators, and then we also have 4 instructional implementation. And it's also my understanding the teachers did not get a financial step. They got the $3,000 from the governor. But if you take away that $3,000, they got the same amount of money that they got last year. It's my understanding that everybody on this list got a step. So therefore, yeah, you need more money because now you got to pay for the benefits. And also, most of the people on this list, they're the ones that's paid by local dollars. The state does not cover all of these people. So their salaries come from this 20 mil rate that we have. So this, you know, as the lady spoke before me, she may not have had the specifics, but this is too much. 80 people to run a school system with 55,000 students. We are too top heavy, and this is what hurts us. And this is the money that is coming from the local taxpayers. Thank you.
Ms. Fondy, all of our employees, the teachers receive a $3,000 raise and a step increase, just for clarification.
Well, when I looked up the, unless it's changed, if you subtract.
That is the case. No, that's
Okay,
the case.
so
Okay,
I'm just
but
saying,
no,
unless
okay,
you subtract
no
it,
further discussion, please.
it's the same, so.
I don't mind sitting with you and actually looking at that.
Our next person is Garrett Ashley.
Good evening, Chairman Gorey and members of the board. I do have copies of my letter to distribute among you.
Okay, thank you.
Would you like it?
You can, yeah, just turn it up before we start. And I'll pass it now.
My name is Garrett Ashley. I'm a resident of unincorporated Clayton County and a product of Clayton County Public Schools. I graduated from Mundiesville High School in 2012 with Fine Arts with Distinction. And I'm glad to praise student and teacher achievement where it's earned and well-deserved.
Speaking a little bit more for the mic, okay.
I am glad to praise student and teacher achievement where it's deserved, yet the administration leaves much to be desired, especially in the area of financial management and capabilities of the board to act in the best interest of the district. Last year, this board raised the millage rate to a tentative 20 mills, which is the maximum allowable by state law. I was told recently that no, we're not raising taxes because it's the same millage rate, which is a misnomer. This board plans to extend the 20 mills at a higher home value rate, therefore raising taxes. The average home price in 2018, according to Zillow, was $124,000, which means the assessed value is $49,800. Since home values jumped this year, some by as much as 20%, we're going to round that up to about $50,000, which leaves Clayton County residents paying about $1,000 per year to this board. Clayton County already pays the highest taxation rates in the metro Atlanta area. How is this going to affect home ownership, business ownership? Will businesses be incentivized to stay in this county? Will residents be incentivized to stay in this county? Will you keep your constituency in this county if you raise taxes to a rate that many residents cannot afford? This county, by and large, lives paycheck to paycheck, which I believe is unfair to have a superintendent who makes more than twice as much as the governor of Georgia. We need to look at this budget, and we need to find out where we can cut money and really, like every family in this county, live within our means. The average voter in Clayton County probably doesn't agree with me on a lot of issues, but I know that they agree with me on this. The taxpayers can't afford an increase, especially in light of the current assessment hikes. Be wary of your actions on this millage rate because the voters and your employers are watching.
Thank you. That was the last thing that we had on the list, and only the people that signed up can speak. So at this time, excuse me, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your participation.